Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to non-league Nutter Natter. First thing you need to do is apologise for the sound issues last week. Um, I think I know what the issue is, so hopefully it's sorted for this week. If not, I'll have to go back and revisit it, but hopefully a lot better this week. Um, so we've actually got some football that we've been to talk to you about this week. Probably to one game. Andrew managed to get the two in, so Andrew is going to kick us off with the first of his two games. So over to you, Andrew.
Yes. Yep. So the first of the games was on Saturday. A lot around my area were called off due to very, very heavy rain Saturday morning. So we had a lot of call offs, but
Fine.
one on a 3G pitch was going ahead. Harpenden Town against the other team.
Started with a C. Claybrook? Was it Claybrook?
Who?
Claybrook, was it?
Hold on. Where's my? I
Let's get
can't
it up.
bloody remember who they played. Who did they bloody play?
I swear it finished with a brook.
Right. Hold on a minute. I've literally just looked at this and yeah, Leverstock Green, that's right. Bit of a local derby. So Harpenden, just outside Luton, Leverstock Green, based in Hemel Hempstead, about 15 miles between the two, if that. So it started off in heavy, heavy rain. And then we had occasional showers throughout the afternoon. So there's your weather report for it. The game itself was actually really, really good. Finished up Harpenden 3, Leverstock Green 1. Very entertaining football from both teams throughout the match. And I have to say, the officiating was of a very, very high standard, which, to be honest, is unusual at that level. This is step 5 of non-league, Spartan South Midlands Premier League. Um, Hardly saw the referee, hardly even noticed him. He was that inconspicuous and in complete control of the match throughout. Linesmen seem to get decisions pretty right as well. Linesmen, assistant referees these days, aren't they? Anyway, they were doing really well. So, all in all, a good experience. Like I say, there was a decent crowd there, but I think a lot of that was due to the fact that so many games were called off. It was the only one on. There were certainly people there from other local teams that I recognised from when I've been out and about that had all just descended there because it was a game.
Yeah,
So, yeah, good afternoon's football. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, any
And
standout moments
on
or anything?
Saturday,
Or
where did you go Saturday?
so Saturday, I was hoping to watch Tividale for the first time in about 3 weeks. But unfortunately, that was rained off pretty early on.
Yeah.
Um, Second plan, I was actually looking at going to see your local team of pitching at Halzone,
Mhm.
but wasn't too convinced that the rain wouldn't see to the end of that. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
um, so I also opted for a 3G pitch, which was Sporting Calcio, um, and they were playing Corby Town. That is a step 4 game, Northern Premier League, one of their many divisions. I think it's the Midlands or the Central Division, something like that is what it's called.
Yeah.
Um, wasn't much of a game um, in terms of it was good to watch, but it wasn't much of a contest in terms of Corby ran away with it 6-0 in the end. Um, Quite possibly, I've seen Calcer play a lot because they were into it out for a while. It's quite possibly the worst I've ever seen Calcer perform. That just I don't know if it was the weather or what. It was constant rain all day. I think we had about 10 minutes either side at half time where it wasn't raining, and it wasn't just rain. It was torrential downpours.
Yeah, that's what we had. When it rained, it really rained.
Yeah, which reflected a little bit in some of the opportunities. I think there was an opportunity early on for Corby, and the chap I went with, the ball's come over, and it's like, how is he missed that? He's like completely missed the ball, kicked it off his heel. It looks like he's reacted late. I'm like, in all fairness, with the way the wind's blowing, I think the rain might have been in his eyes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
So that's it. I mean, it was at some points, it was very different. That was the one thing I had a problem with
Glasses.
Yeah, it was this week, wasn't it? I had actually a problem with sunshine at
Yeah,
parts of
yeah,
my game.
you know,
It was so low in the sky. The first goal, I couldn't even see the goal go in because I
yeah.
was looking straight into the sun. Couldn't see a
Correct.
damn thing at that end of the ground. So that was between the rainstorms. So
Yeah, but again with the Cal scam, I've got to say, officials were pretty good.
yeah,
Couple of occasions, one for each team, where the manager absolutely lost their mind with the line over a decision they thought was funny enough. Cal's manager was going ballistic at the linesman because he thought the Corby player was miles offside. But
right.
as I said on Saturday, I was level with the linesman; he was actually miles onside. And when I say going ballistic, he was calling him in embarrassment. What are you doing?
Uh,
All this, and I'm like, how have you not? How he didn't get a yellow card for it,
mm,
especially at today's age. Um,
yeah,
um, and then Corby went 1-0 up, and then about 2 minutes later, it was the Corby's manager's turn to have a go at the linesman, saying he's miles onside. When again, it was pretty much a similar play on the pitch, so I confirmed he was miles offside.
so
Um,
officials correct in both cases, and yeah,
yeah, there was one where it was rather confusing. Um, Celtic player's gone down. I'm not going to say he dived because I don't think he did dive. Like the ball's gone out. The referee's pointing for the goal kick. Then the assistant's flag is furiously waving away, and he's gestured that the Calcio defender, Corby defender has pulled the Calcio forward down. And without any further conversation, the referees then decided to book him. So I'm like, well, you've gone from deciding it's not even a foul to giving the booking. Um, and again, it was in a similar position of the pitch where I was right behind the linesman at that point. And I'm like, what have you seen there? Because no one's touched anyone. So it became referred to as a ghost foul.
yeah,
And then there was a red card for Kelter in the game as well.
right.
Nailed on red card all day. Uh,
Oh, that's all right then. At least it was
yeah,
deserved.
yeah. Quite interesting actually, because there was an FA assessor there. He wasn't assessing that day, but we know
Right.
him from when he's been certificated out a few times. Um,
All right.
and he came up to me at the end of the game and said, well, what he sent him off for? Because he looked like he tripped over him from where I was, which is interesting because obviously different angles.
Yeah, yeah,
Where, as I say again, we were pretty much level with this. The Calcium forward has fouled the defender. Defenders ended up on the floor, and instead of stepping over or walking around the defender, the Calcium forward has decided to use his back as the floor and walked over him. So, yeah, to make the nailed on red all day. But it was just
absolutely.
interesting from that assessor to come up to us and say, well, he looked like he tripped over him. And we're like, no. So it was interesting to see that perspective.
So the
Uh,
initial foul, innocuous, it was what he did
yeah,
afterwards that got him the red card. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. But as I say, Kelson would just. I think it's the first time I've actually ever heard the crowd start to turn at Kelson because they're usually a pretty good bunch there.
yeah,
And I know the manager put out a message afterwards saying, look, it's probably the lowest he's ever felt since he took over the club. I think he's been at the club 9 or 10 years now.
yeah.
But winners stick around. So he goes, I'm going to bounce back from it. And fair play to him. Rowie, we've
I
never.
should imagine that would just be a one-off result, and you won't see anything like that with Kelso again for a while. So
I would like to think so because there was no fight, which is unusual for Kelso.
yeah,
So yeah, hopefully that can bounce back pretty soon.
mm,
But yeah, I think that
yeah.
was pretty much all the noteworthy stuff from that game, if I'm honest. If you want to crack on with your.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say before we talk about my next game, we really ought to talk to the one that you turned down on Saturday, the Pales Owen against Hitchin game.
Yeah,
So that's Southern League Premier and Premier Central.
yeah,
And Hitchin won the match, but it was notable for the Hitchin goalkeeper, Charlie Horlock,
yeah,
managed to score a goal from his own area.
yeah,
He literally punted it up the field.
yeah,
It bounced past and over the Hales Owen keeper and straight into the net.
yeah,
It's a shame I'm not going to Hitchin this Saturday because you can guarantee the crowd will be shouting at Charlie to shoot every time he's got a goal kicked. So, because that sort of crowd that will enjoy that.
yeah,
But then Charlie went on later on in the game to actually save a penalty as well. So real
yeah.
man of the match stuff from him. So
Yeah. And
but
I have to say as well, that's to add to that, it was 2-1 in the 90th minute when he saved that. Then Hitchin went down the other end and scored a couple of minutes
Yeah,
later. So
that's right.
definitely,
So it was a good all-round performance for Hitchin, but the goalkeeper Charlie Horlock, he's a former Luton Town keeper actually, apparently. So I'm told.
is that
But
the same?
yeah,
Yeah, is that the same keeper that was sent off when we went to Watson Stourbridge?
yeah,
Or yeah,
yeah, yeah. So he
very.
has good bad days as well.
Yeah, but in all fairness, that was a very harsh red card that day. The referee reacted to the injury.
Yeah, exactly. That was the
Yeah,
referee reacting to the site of the injury rather than the actual foul itself. That's right.
yeah, yeah, because that was more of
So
a 50-50 with both players going for the ball, and he caught the bottom. If I remember rightly, he seemed to kick the bottom of Charlie's studs.
yeah, yeah,
Cool.
that's it. It was a nasty one, but it
Yeah,
wasn't. Like you say, the referee was reacting to the site of the injury rather than the actual foul itself on that one. But
yeah.
that was a few years back.
He was. That
But
was
yeah,
first
no,
off then.
he's still well. So my second game was
Yeah.
actually off the cuff last night. I was away for work in Hereford. They were playing at home against Brackley,
Mhm.
National League North. So step two of non-league, and I decided to go along. I've been to
Dangerously close to the
Edgarstown
football league, that
ground
is.
before. Say again.
Dangerously close to the football league, that is.
Yeah, it's only a couple of steps away, isn't it? And
Yeah,
yeah, no, they're doing all right, Hereford, but
yeah,
only a 10-minute walk from my hotel as well, so that was nice. So I thought, right, I'll go along.
yeah,
And then I looked at the ticket price and paid the ticket price, which frankly is hideous. We're talking the sixth level of English football, and
yeah,
you're paying over £20 for a ticket.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Go one step lower to step three non-league, and your average price is £12, £13.
yeah,
And then you've got that jump up to 20 plus, which is extortionate. It's not like they've got small crowds either. There was nearly 2,000 people there last night.
yeah,
Um, So that's a lot of money they're making out of that. I think they could probably get away with a slightly lower price. I'm going to talk about my own hometown club, Oxford United, in League One, and they only charge 28 for their top price ticket there. So you're
yeah,
talking that's another £7 on top of a team three divisions lower. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the prices, although we will talk about prices one of these days, I'm sure. But the
yeah,
match itself, so had good weather. It didn't actually rain. It was good.
yeah. My dad
But
lives over that way.
it started off this first half was pretty slow. Hereford scored very quickly, 5 minutes in, 5 minutes and 6 seconds, according
Oh,
to the golden goal ticket.
yeah,
Um, they scored a nice goal on a counter attack, just belted up the field and just slotted it home. By half time, I would have said they were very lucky to be in the league. It was in the lead. It was a very, very, very even first half. It could have gone
yeah,
either way. Both teams had the odd chance. So I would have said Hereford were lucky going in at half time ahead.
yeah,
However, by the time we got to the end of the second half, they were unlucky not to have won it 4-5-0.
yeah,
They really, really turned it on in the second half and made Brackley look absolutely average.
mm,
So it's a really good performance from Hereford. It was just interesting couple of things I noted. Again, the officials are very good,
mm,
so they didn't have an awful lot to do. So it's a good game from that point of view. One player, the striker for Brackley, I'm sure he thinks he's in ZC top, judging by the size of his beard. Um, and how he can run with that, I don't know. But anyway, it was a big beard. And the other thing that was quite fun was the Brackley manager had a habit of clapping his team, which a lot
yeah,
of managers do, but
yeah,
right in front of a pile of Hereford fans, so every time he did it, started making sea lion noises at him, which was very entertaining. Um, what I was pleased to see was one end of the ground is completely terraced now. Now terracing is being sort of like welcomed back into football a bit more, and
yeah,
the terrace area was packed.
yeah,
Um, Actually, if I'd got a terrace ticket, it would have only been 18 quid, I found out afterwards. But anyway, I had a seat. Um, so, yeah, terracing was packed. There was a guy in there with a drum who drummed for the entire game. That end of the crowd was singing for the entire game. It was a really good atmosphere, actually. It was really nice. And Brackley had a grand total of 16 fans there. So 1,934 attendance and 16 from Brackley, which, to be fair, Brackley to Hereford on a
I would
Tuesday
say it's
night
alright. Yeah,
is a blooming good effort, even to
Yeah,
get 16 there, frankly. So,
yeah. It's that
so it
that's
finished up 1-0 to Hereford, which, like I say, it could have been 4 or 5 by the end of the match, but good
mm,
match again. So
yeah, yeah. Hereford probably a club will probably touch a little bit in the future, but I'd say I'll get a bit more information from this chap I work with.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
because as I say, I work with someone who's from Hereford. He's followed them for years, followed them through the
yeah.
lows, and followed them all the way down to step five.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Tividale never got to play them. They went up from step five to four. Tividale went down from four to five, so we missed
Oh,
out on
right.
them.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
good to see them getting back to some sort of
Yeah, they're
yeah.
steady. I mean, they're mid-table, I think, at the moment, but they're doing steady and they're doing good stuff by the look of it. So
Good.
good luck to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm. So
food.
food. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
well, there wasn't much on offer at Hereford last night, just your bog standard chips and sausages and burgers and such like. But
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, some of these places I get to go to as a non-league fan, the food on offer is just well, it's unbelievable sometimes what you get. I mean,
Yeah.
certainly around the Birmingham area, I found lots of Balti pies. So
Balti pie.
your
Love a
Balti
Balti pie
pies,
round here.
yeah, your pie with your Balti curry in your pie. They were nice, really good stuff.
Yeah, we
I'll tell
do.
you what I had on Saturday down at Harpenden.
Yeah.
Gorgeous hot dog with proper solid long bratwurst sausages. They were proper German style sausages. Really, really, really nice.
Good.
So that was good.
Properly fairly priced as well, or
What was it? It was £6, but that included the chips. That wasn't bad price, really.
that's not too bad,
All the
really, is it?
chips included. No, it's not
Uh,
too bad.
um,
Average.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
So you had
I,
anything decent recently at football?
I can't really comment too much on food lately. So, well, when I'm at Tividale, I'm in the hospitality room anyway because of doing what I do, and I
Mhm.
generally go on the guest list when we go away. So generally
Ah, right.
bag the free buffet.
Well,
But I can
I
comment on
was, yeah, yeah. So no, I keep take a lot of note about the food because I like food. Anyway, what
well,
I did
you
know
like
now,
to have some chips with your sauce. That's what you like. You don't.
I like chips with my ketchup. Yes,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah. But the other thing I like is on a cold night is Bovril.
Oh, Rob.
Now, Bovril I only ever drink at football.
Yeah,
And until I lived in Birmingham and met you guys and went to Lye Town, I didn't know that it was a good idea to put pepper in your Bovril.
I
Because
remember that
nobody
night.
down south where I'm from has ever put pepper in Bovril. But
Yeah,
once I'd done it once, my God, I don't want Bovril without it. The
yeah.
trouble is, finding pepper to put in your Bovril down here is nigh on impossible. I have to resort to nicking it from from the tray in Witherspoons and putting it in my pocket. But the little sachets so I can chuck in. Even Hereford last night didn't have pepper on offer for the Bovril. And I
Yeah,
thought that would be far enough north, but apparently not.
no, you're
No.
just far enough outside the Midlands there for them to be like, "What?" Um,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did go to one, Barton Rovers. They had a food bar run by a Scottish lady, and she always had pepper on standby, ready for the Bovril. So she
yeah,
was good.
yeah,
But some of the other food I've had, I mean, well, not had, but I went to a match recently. It was actually in Potter's Bar at their ground, but the team
mhm,
playing was St Panteleimon. Uh,
mhm,
again, Spartan South Midlands League. But in there, they got one of these food wagons in there, but
yeah,
it's a fish wagon. So you're talking your cockles and your whelks and your jellied eels and any other sort of assorted sea slime you can think of that was on offer there. That was yeah, sea slime's about right.
yeah,
I didn't have any. I went to the other one, had a burger, but so that was good. And another one I went to was really good, where the food was all on offer and it was all homemade stuff. Was down in Rochester way, Chatham, somewhere on Kent coast anyway,
yeah,
and Punjab FC
yeah,
and samosas, bhajis.
yeah.
Oh God, all homemade, fantastic stuff. It was really great.
Yeah, Kels is the same as
And
well, and that's one place I can comment on. Kels do a lot of obviously Asian food, samosas, bhajis,
yeah,
as
oh
well as the
yeah,
traditional burgers and
running
chips and
marvellous. The best one I went to was a pre-season. No, it wasn't even a pre-season friendly. It was at the end of last season. I can't remember the ground, but it's North London somewhere. And as you went in, you paid your price to get in. Well,
Mhm.
you didn't actually. You walked through an open gate, and a lady came round and said, "You haven't paid yet. It's £5 entry." Okay, so she was just walking around the crowd, remembering who she'd spoken to. So as we were getting 10 minutes for kickoff, she was coming around again. Right, what do you want at half time? We're going to do burgers and hot dogs and chips. What do you want? And you had to order it and pay, and then her husband got in the car, belted off down the cash and carry, came back and cooked it all in the first half, so it was ready for half time. You literally, they bought enough for what people had ordered. So there was no
It's
waste there at all.
yeah,
Everything they bought was cooked and eaten.
it's
So,
efficient.
yeah,
Um,
fantastic idea if they can get away with it. But that was good.
yeah.
And another one I went to recently, Cranfield. Um, the game was awful. 3 sendings off. Terrible refereeing. Awful game. But they had a kebab van.
Oh,
And the kebab was your bog standard kebab. That was fine. But the chili sauce he had made, Jesus, it blew my head off. Best chili sauce I've ever had.
yeah.
It was fantastic. So yeah, I
And you
like
knew about
trying
it the
all
next day.
different things. What the trouble is, I had a full dinner that night before I even went out to the football. I didn't need anything else, but I saw a kebab van. Thought, oh, kebab, oh, chili sauce. Yeah, go on then. So I had that. I didn't need it, but my God, was it good?
Yeah,
So all sorts of good food around at the football, especially at the smaller grounds. You get
yeah.
some real variety times.
Yes, you do.
So
Yeah, one thing that I've got to comment on actually, we played Old Stone Alinians last year,
mm,
um, and the food they gave was I've never seen it before. It was quite nice. It tasted like a toasty, but
right,
it was like a pancake,
uh
and
huh,
it was like rolled up, and it was like inside. I think I can't remember what it was. I think it was cheese and ham, or just ham and or just cheese, but
yeah,
I've never seen anything like it before, but it was quite nice. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like I say, there is lots. There was one place I went to, and your offer was your Greek gyros wagon. So that's effectively Greek kebabs, isn't it?
yeah,
There was one of them at one end of the ground, and then at the other end of the ground, there was a different company doing exactly the same thing. So you could have Greek gyros or Greek gyros
yeah,
or nothing,
but
but you could
nothing.
get it from two different competing people. So that was just a weird one. There wasn't a lot of variety there, but
Yeah, I remember
yeah.
when we went to Kettering and I think it was a bacon cheeseburger and fries, but the fries
Oh, that's right.
they gave you in a paper cone, so you couldn't, and the burger in your hand. So you're like, well, I can't hold both. So
Yeah.
in the end, we managed to find a little slot in the fence, and we propped the chips in the fence.
Oh, that's right. The chips were in a
Yeah,
cone, weren't they?
they
So
were, yeah,
yeah, so we wedged the cone through the fence so that
through the
we
fence.
could,
Yeah,
yeah, eat the burger.
yeah.
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 So,
Yeah, no.
mm. So anyway, that was my big thing. I wanted to talk about food because I like food. So there you go. That's food. So it
Yeah,
was FA Cup weekend, just gone, wasn't it? So
it
there
was
was quite
indeed.
a few decent non-league stories in the cup.
There was.
Best of all, Aldershot.
Yeah, I'll let you take
Aldershot
this one.
away at Swindon Town and absolutely stuffed them. Final score was 7-4,
Yeah,
but at one point Aldershot was 7-0 up away at a League Two side Swindon. So that was an amazing result.
yeah, 100%. I think they were 3-0 up after 10 minutes.
They did absolutely stormed it. I
Yeah.
don't know what Swindon were playing, whether they were playing. Well, they must have been playing. They can't have been playing their entire first 11, surely. I hope
I
they
haven't
were,
looked at
because
this.
that's really funny. But
Yeah, I haven't looked at, in all honesty, at the squad. But I did see them shaking hands at the end, and Charlie Austin was on the pitch, and I would imagine he's a
yeah,
pretty strong hook
he's
on
he's
the.
way up there. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What else happened in
Um,
the cup? Go on.
Other non-league scalps, as we'll call it. Chesterfield beating Portsmouth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
one
right.
0
Yeah, that was Sunday, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, saw that one. Portsmouth top of League One, so the highest rated team in that round of the competition.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I believe Chesterfield are doing pretty well in the National League, aren't they? Aren't they top of the National League?
they're top of the National League, but even so, that's still 2
Oh,
levels below where Portsmouth are, isn't it?
yeah,
So
100%. And obviously, we spoke about Horsham having to travel to Barnsley on a Friday night. Barnsley now have
yeah,
to travel to Horsham on a Tuesday night.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely, because they managed to draw 3 each. Yeah.
yeah, with only 3 shots on target for Horsham, so fair play to them. Efficiency at its finest.
Yeah, absolutely. Good result there.
Um,
Just
Scarborough
going
managed to get a 1-1 draw with Forest Green.
yeah, that's another good result.
Yeah,
Just looking through the paper now.
yeah.
Sheppey were also on Friday night. They got hammered by Walsall 4-1. Having said
Yes,
that, they did take the lead with
they
a
did, and it was
fantastic goal. It
fantastic
was a
strike.
really
Yeah,
good goal. So,
yeah. I have
yeah,
to say though, Matt Sadler at the end of the game, his comments were very, very respectful towards Sheppey.
good.
Gave them the credit because, as he said, they deserved to take the lead when they did. They could easily have
Yeah,
taken the lead when it was still 1-1 just after half time. They missed a couple of brilliant chances.
yeah.
And then
That's
Walsall
it.
just switched on and were very professional and did what they're paid to do essentially at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah. Just
now,
going through.
if Thibodeau hadn't have lost in the extra preliminary round this year, which is the first hurdle,
Yeah.
which is not what we wanted to be, they would have actually been in the position of Cray Valley Paper Mill, so they would have played Charlton.
All right. Okay.
Um, and Cray Valley Paper Mills kept the non-league flag flying, they got them in the hat, and managed to get themselves a 1-1 draw. So
They did.
they
Yeah.
will be taking Charlton back to their place for a replay.
Yeah. That's a good
Um,
result for them then.
who else have we got? Eastleigh and
Uh,
Boreham, Eastleigh and Boreham Wood, 2 non-league sides.
yeah,
Eastleigh,
easily stuffed them. In fact, that was they had exactly the same fixture at the same stage a couple of years ago. I'm sure they did because I
yeah,
went
I
to
think,
that was at Borehamwood though. So
yeah.
yeah,
The only other one I picked out, I may have missed one, was Slough drawing 1-1 with Grimsby.
yeah, that's right. And they've got Oxford in the next round. The other thing is Ramsgate. Now this
Ramsgate.
wasn't all non-league, but Ramsgate were lower than Woking, and Ramsgate won that one 2-1.
Yeah, and
That was
Woking are
a good
doing
result.
pretty well as well, I believe, aren't they?
They are so
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
Woking are
I
what are they
believe
doing?
they're National League, I believe, aren't they, Woking?
I'm just looking at the paper now.
Or they're National League South.
They're not in there. In there. They're 12th in the National League. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
they're
so
doing okay.
Ramsgate had a good win there. Absolutely.
And I believe Ramsgate will now, I could be wrong, would be the lowest ranked team left in the competition in the next round.
I believe they are now that Sheppey had gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I believe
So
they're step 4, aren't they?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so good results all round. Anything else in the news this week?
The draw for the next round, actually, I forgot to make a note of it. Um,
I know that either Slough or Grimsby have got Oxford because I paid
yeah,
attention to that one. Um,
they
don't
won't
know
have it.
really.
They won't have it in the paper because it was done on Sunday
No, it
afternoon.
wasn't drawn until Sunday. Oh well, we'll have to talk about that next time.
We'll talk about that next
So
week or just before the round
yeah,
start.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you pick anything up from the paper at all, or?
No, nothing of any great. It was all about the FA Cup stuff. We just talked about that. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just. I did notice that Farnham are still unbeaten in their division.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
won
think
their
they
game
even
last week.
played. Did they
Did they?
win? Because
I don't.
I was going to go to that because it was chucking it down the rain. I didn't bother going in the end. I can't even remember whether they actually played in the end.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. No, it looks like that one might have
Looking
gone.
at their Twitter, it looked like it got underway and then maybe got
Yeah.
abandoned. But I don't know. The
Well,
Twitter's not.
there's no result in it, and they're still on 12 out of 12. So that was what they were last week. So don't think they played it. So
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Yeah. So move on to a bit of news I picked up from Twitter then.
Hmm.
First things, a couple of managerial appointments, which took my interest. One particularly because a club local to me, Walsall Wood, their manager, ex-manager Harry Harris, moved on. Was offered the job at Hensford Town. He took that. Um, but Walsall Wood have now appointed a former Thibodeau manager. Um,
All right.
but most recently, former Alf Alvechurch manager Ian Long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really, really good manager who's taken Alvechurch to levels they've never been at before. From
Yeah.
to what the second round of the FA Cup last year, I believe he got them to.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they beat Cheltenham and then lost to Forest Green. And he actually took Jimenez to the highest they've been in Step 4 and made them competitive, and then left us for Alvechurch.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he can do with Waterwood.
Well, it does. Yeah.
If he gets the backing and gets what he wants, there's no reason why I can't be a Step 3 club within the next two
Oh,
seasons.
crikey, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're Step 4 now. They got promoted
Yeah.
from our division last year.
Right.
But his season been around, knows what he's doing, knows how to get the best from his players. So yeah, absolutely no
Yeah.
reason why in 2 to 3 seasons he couldn't get them at least, if not in Step 3, challenging for Step 3.
Excellent. That's good then. So hopefully you'll stay there for a while. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The next one is Pascal Chimbonda has been appointed as the Skelmersdale manager.
Skelmersdale, that's up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, they mentioned whatever website I saw it on mentioned that he played for Sunderland and Tottenham, which is
All
obviously
right.
North East and London, but neglected the fact he played for Wigan, which
All
would
right.
make more
Which
sense
is
given
right
that.
next door to Skelmersdale.
Yeah,
So,
which you think, yeah, okay. But yeah, I picked this story up after he'd actually taken charge of his first game. But just for a bit of context, Skelmersdale are currently sitting bottom with 2 wins from 18.
right. We've got some work to do there then.
Yeah, and they are currently 10 points from safety. But his first game was a 3-2 loss to Squires Gate, and Skelmersdale finished with 9 men. So hopefully he'll be
Right.
looking for massive improvement from there.
I should hope so. Yeah, they can't get much worse.
No. Yeah. So I think their next game is actually against. I've got it written down somewhere. I think it's Glossop. Glossop North End, is it?
Lots of,
Yeah.
I don't know. Which division are they?
I think they're Northwest Counties, Step 5. Northwest Counties Premier.
Northwest Counties Premier. Glossop North End. It's not them.
No, it's not them then.
Skelmersdale United versus Chadderton Chadderton. So it's Chadderton.
Everton are doing pretty well in the league. I think they're up if not in the top 2 in the playoff race.
Let's have a look. Northwest Counties. Chadderton are currently 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be a tough ask.
Yeah. And then the final thing I've picked up from Twitter this week, sticking with the Northwest Counties, probably sticking with the most well-known team in the Northwest Counties, and that would be Bury.
Mm-hmm.
Back at Gig Lane this season. They've been struck with a 3-point deduction.
Oh dear, what did they do wrong?
So they played an ineligible player in their game against Glossop on the 29th of July. So I've had a quick look at the wording of everything that the league given out, but it's all jargon, and so I'll try to decipher it the best I can and make sense of it so it makes sense to everyone else. But there was a player contracted at another club,
right,
which has been confirmed by the FA.
Yeah,
That he was contracted at another club. Bury offered a fee of £500, and said they worded it as a transfer fee or contract cancellation fee. So essentially, that bought him for £500. And they were issued an invoice of £500 by the club.
Yeah.
However, the contract was not cancelled by the selling club. Let's just refer to them as, because I don't actually know who the other club was.
Right. Yeah.
Before the 29th of July, or confirmation had not been received by Bury or the FA on the 29th of July.
Yeah.
The North West Counties League assessed the situation, but
Yeah.
the only way point deduction could be avoided would be if the ineligible player is due to a failure to obtain an international transfer certificate. No idea what one of those is, so I'm guessing that's if they buy
Yeah.
somebody overseas.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that can even
ineligible,
apply between Welsh and Scottish teams with English teams as well. So
yeah,
because it's a different FA jurisdiction, so maybe he's come from a Welsh team or something.
yeah, potentially could do with being North West Counties. Could well be a Welsh team. Um, Ineligibility is due to a change in the player's status with the registered club.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Or if the league themselves determined it to be exceptional circumstances.
Right. Yeah.
So the league judged none of those mitigating factors applied. So it
So
resulted in a 3 point deduction for Berry.
yeah.
Um, Berry submitted an appeal, which was dismissed.
Yeah.
Glossop protested. Didn't say what they protested against, whether it's the player, the ineligible player, or if they said, well, if they've done that, do we not get the points?
Yeah.
That was upheld, so I'm assuming it was the fact that they played the ineligible player.
Right.
Um, and this is the outcome as it was written.
Yeah.
So the outcome that was given was, as per League Rule 6.9, the only decision is for the game to be replayed and for the net gate receipts to be split equally between the North West Counties Football League and the two clubs. There is no provision to award the points to the disadvantaged club. So the league rules prevent the league from awarding the points to Glossop. But
Right.
also seems they're going to benefit financially now from the gate receipts of the replay.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
And the fact
That's
it was,
convenient for them.
yeah, and the fact it was at Bury as well, which, like I say, they're playing back at Gig Lane this year, which I believe has a very
Yeah.
decent capacity. Um,
I've been there. I've been to Gig Lane. Went there when they were actually a league club.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that
Yeah.
happened.
So North West Counties Premier League are going to make a bit of money out of that one.
Yeah, it's not like it's the bottom of the table to come was down against the team
No,
above them where like,
exactly.
you might get 30 people. I would imagine there'd be a couple of thousand at least there if it's a gig
I
lane.
should think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Gig Lane, they'll get a number in there certainly.
Yeah.
And well, that's a shame for them, but well, there we go. At least they could win that replay match anyway. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
I mean, given their respective league positions, I think Glossop North End of the team one above the top
They're in
one.
the bottom 4 or 5 and Bury are top. So
Yeah, Berry won the original fixture 5-1. I would imagine it'd be a similar outcome.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Sounds
Realistically,
like
with the
it.
resources Berry have got, they should be walking that league anyway.
They should. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, a
Oh
team I'd
well.
the team I'd expect to see back in step two within the next 3-4 years.
Yeah,
Um,
they should be. They're certainly on the right trajectory. So yeah,
yeah,
and having Gig Lane back now, they're going to be able to bring in the resources they need to do it. So
yeah, 100%,
yeah.
100%.
So
Right,
anyway, back to step 5 and 6 on Saturday because it's FA Vase weekend.
it is
And
indeed.
Tibberdale, I believe your team is still in it.
They are. I've not actually seen Tibberdale play in the Vase yet this season. Um, the first round, not the first round, that was the last round, but the first round I could have watched them in, which was the last 2 minutes qualifying round.
Second qualifying round,
Yeah,
something like
second
that.
qualifying round. We got a bye in the first qualifying round.
Yeah.
I had people laugh at me when I say this. I had a baby shower. Unusual for a male to go to a baby shower. But yeah, that's just how our group of friends is. We're quite a small group and it's quite tight knit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I missed that. Where Tibberdale beat, I remember we beat, but we won 1-0.
Yeah.
Cannot remember for the life of me who it was now. And then last round we played with Beach, originally scheduled for the 21st of October. Just getting
Yeah.
everything on the coach at 9:30 in the morning. Pitch is waterlogged. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Cool. Wasn't it? So,
yeah, so rearranged for the week after on the 28th due to the distance. A lot were rearranged for midweek, but due to it being a 3.5 hour journey, I
Yeah.
rearranged for the following Saturday, the 28th, but unfortunately I was working in the morning. Um, so
Yeah.
the coach was long gone by the time I'd finished work.
Yeah.
But yeah, they drew to all with Beach in the 90 minutes and then went on to win, I think it was 5-4 on penalties.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 saves from Lewis Connor in goal. He's a bit of a beast when it comes to penalty shootouts.
Yeah. Well, I started my Vase journey. I did this, started in the first qualifying round. The old Northamptonian Chennicks beat Oxy Jets.
Mhm.
So I went to the second qualifying round where they played Amersham Town and Amersham stuffed them 7-0. So I then went with Amersham away to Fleet Town for the first round, which was the last round. That ended in a draw, and Amersham won it on penalties. So this Saturday I will be back to Amersham,
Mhm. You've forgotten the
and
pain, haven't you?
again I've forgotten who the hell they're playing.
You're starting to show
Just
your age. Okay, Andrew.
yeah, Amersham Town versus Hilltop, which are a team from Northwest London, so it's quite not that far from Amersham. So
Yeah,
be back down to Amersham Town on Saturday to continue my FA Vase Road to Wembley.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Did I,
yes, FA Vase Road to Wembley is a lot easier to do than an FA Cup Road to Wembley because it's all Step 5 and Step 6 non-league teams, so it's always going to be cheap and you're never going to have a problem getting in. So
until you get to the semi-finals, it can be challenging.
semi-finals can get a little bit busy, but
Yeah. Oh, which
yeah.
coincidentally they've brought the two-legged semi-final back this season, I believe.
Oh, are they? That'll
Yes,
be
I'm sure.
interesting.
I'm sure I saw that when I was going through the rules at the start of the season. I'm sure they brought the two-legged semi-final back.
Ah, that'll be interesting then.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that's my plan for Saturday, and yes,
Did
so
I
we
did I
shall
say
bring
who we?
reports of that next time round.
I can't remember if I said who we had. I can't remember. But Tiverdale got Sharbrooke Town. I can't remember if I said.
Oh, that's right.
said yeah.
Yeah,
Step 6 side. So on paper,
yeah.
on
Tividale
paper,
should win it.
Tiverdale should win.
Yeah,
But I believe Sharbrooke are flying high in their league. I think they're 6th or 7th, doing well, and they beat Pershore Town 5-0 in the last round. So it's not going to be an easy game at all. Um,
no, definitely not. I mean, Amersham and Hilltop are both Step 5 as far as I can remember.
yeah,
I'm not. Don't hold me to that because I don't know. But yes,
yeah,
excellent.
yeah. So that's the plans
Yeah,
for the week, and I don't think we have a game next midweek. Oh, just on that point, I said last week that Tiverdale were playing Walsall
that's right. Yeah,
in the Birmingham Senior Cup on what would have been last night as we record this, which was
yeah,
7th of November. Unfortunately, that got postponed due to obviously Walsall were never going to send the first team to play Tiverdale. Um, it
no,
would have been their youth team, but their FA Youth Cup match got postponed last week, obviously due to the horrendous weather towards the back end of last week.
yeah,
So that's obviously taken priority, so they've had to fulfil that fixture this week. The rearranged fixture has provisionally been scheduled in for the 28th of November, so hopefully, all going well, by the end of the month we will actually have fulfilled that fixture.
yeah,
Um, Something like that. I think we've got to look into it because when I saw the draw, it said the ties had to be played by the 25th of November.
right.
As I pointed out, that's 3 days after the 25th. But
Yeah,
I, I assume they would have cleared it with the FA before
I
potentially
was
cancelling it
imagining
in.
they had. Yeah.
Because what they're going to do, kick both of us out for failing to play it on time? Maybe.
Yeah, I suppose they could do, couldn't
Yeah,
they? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it past the FA.
Well, no, that's it. Well, I'll tell you what then. Let's
I'll leave
get
it there.
ready for our weekend's football trips and
Yep,
reconvene next week to see what we've got to talk about.
yep, 100%. Hopefully, as
Right.
I say, the sound on this week for my part is a lot better. I'll go away and listen to it. Uh, if it's not, I'll have to go away and rethink what the potential problem could be.
Sounds better from where I'm sitting today, so hopefully that's a good sign.
Good, good. Hopefully, it's all good then.
All right.
Right. So, on
Well,
that note, I think it's time to wrap up.
yeah,
Yeah. say goodbye for another week, and we'll be back with you all next week.
Yeah, good night and goodbye. Speak to you next week.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.